Hello guys, welcome back to our another video, and today we are going to start a new Marvel comic series which is Death of the Inhumans. Basically it's type of a small event comprising of 15 to 20 issues, but we are going to see a part of it in this video, and in upcoming videos we will be completing the whole event. But for now let's jump into the video. The title says it all. Here lie the Inhumans. The Kree have gone murdering, leaving behind a message: join or die. Thousands of Inhumans have already made their choice. The evidence floats bleeding in space. Written by Donny Cates and Punisher War Journal artist Ariel Olivetti bring their brutal talents to the Inhumans. On the first page, we see prehistoric humans and we hear someone is talking to the readers saying, "Long ago, the Kree started a war across stars and to create soldiers for their conflict. They captured early humans, manipulated their genes, performed experiments on them to something more, something useful, something inhuman. These experiments lasted generations and across the universe. They become slaves, spies, soldiers, etc. And if not, they would have forced for the prophecy. Later on, Kree's supreme intelligence saw a vision which showed the annihilation of the Kree species by a being from their own meddling or experiments, a being known as the Midnight King. This prophecy made supreme intelligence so scared or chilled that he forced the Kree to abandon their research, destroy all beings which were experimented on, but they kept experimented on 5 beings. But this was long ago, and with time history is ignored and fear also fades. And now with Kree's homeworld Hala in ruin, they returned to reap seeds of war once again. Then we come to the present time and see Black Bolt is taking a note from the dead Inhumans flying in space, and someone is talking to the readers again saying those Inhumans which did not fall under King Black Bolt's protection were killed, even though Black Bolt was not their ruler, but still they were his people. So he searches the name of all 11,038 lives which were taken to send him a message. He records each and every one in a book. Then we hear Medusa's voice saying, "We have arrived. Have you prepared your speech?" She notices Black Bolt haven't slept. So she tells her, "You are a good man to cry for this fallen. That is why I love you. Your sorrow will not bring back the dead. So dry your face and bury the good. The people need their king." On the next page, we see the royal family of the New Arctic clan who had traveled a long way for a meeting with the king. After all, a convergence of the 5 ruling tribes of Inhumans is no small thing. The meeting takes place on a nameless planet so remote and so hidden that even Lockjaw is capable of transporting them there in the New Arctic land. They are all here to discuss about a message: join or die. Black Bolt will vote for war, but the war is already lost as he sees 4 queens lie dead and mutilated right before his eyes. Black Bolt stands speechless, but he prays it will soon change. In the middle of the dead bodies, one was still breathing, who showed vision to Triton. "The queens have arrived before us. They knew we would vote for war, for escalation. They believe the forces allied against us are too great. We wouldn't stand a chance. They call themselves God, and the queens voted to join the empire. They choose to surrender, and then the devil came. As expected, the devil said he was grateful for their surrender, but the message left in the stars are not for the 4 queens but for one king, and the Kree have no use of cowards." Triton expressed his gratitude to the woman, but suddenly he notices a bomb is fitted on a chest. The bomb explodes, but Lockjaw somehow managed to get all of them out of the building, except Triton, who was killed in that explosion. But in the middle of this, Black Bolt suddenly sees Medusa heavily injured. She told him and the others that it was a trap. They all should have immediately returned to the New Arctic land. And on the next page, we see a badass moment where we were introduced to the main villain of this series, whose name is Vox. Built for war by the Kree, he is the first in a new race of superhumans. Engineered from birth with almost all of their inhuman abilities, he cannot be swayed, tricked, or bought. He only wants one thing: to kill and destroy his enemies. He is the voice and wrath of gods. By saying this, we can see that he had arrived in the New Arctic land, and he is single-handedly killing all the inhumans there, ruthlessly and mercilessly. Vox reaches the main palace and saw someone is sitting on the throne. He points his gun at Vox and tells his real name. His real name is Maximus, and he fires his gun towards Vox. On the next page, we see Black Bolt in his headquarters in space, standing beside Medusa where she is being taken care of. Black Bolt says, "We need intel on what's happening in the New Arctic land, telling Lockjaw to retrieve Maximus and bring him to me." Medusa's sister says, "We still too far out. It will take 15 minutes to get into Lockjaw's range, and even then at this distance, we have to send him alone." Black Bolt says, "Get on the bridge, brace for jump." And on the other hand, Maximus is struggling against Vox. His gun is doing no damage to Vox, and Vox also opens his mouth and fires a laser which knocked Maximus out. On the next page, we see Black Bolt running towards his seat, where he took a deep breath and told the other members to boost the speed of his spaceship so that he can quickly reach New Arctic land. Vox gets Maximus by his throat and says, "I want you to convey a message to your brother. Tell him to join us, and when he does, he will beg us to do so." Maximus resists by saying Maximus is no one's messenger. When in range, Lockjaw teleports in the New Arctic land palace and saves Maximus, but little did they knew it was for a short time, as Vox kills them both. Minutes later, Black Bolt arrives, but it was too late to his new empire of ash. He sat there broken in the midst of smoke. And with this, issue 1 of Death of the Inhumans ends. So it is time for us to end this video as well. If you like this video, do give a like, subscribe if you haven't, and also comment your best moments from this issue. Mine was the introduction of Vox. His introduction was so cool and badass. Its character design was also top notch. So stay safe, stay curious, and stay nerdy. We'll meet you in our next video.